friend of mine from Baltimore, Maryland, right?
Well, outside Baltimore, yeah.
Outside Baltimore. So Alan Gross has, I'll do a formal introduction. Hey, Lauren, or Lindsay, let's take the recorder and rock and roll.
You got it.
Hey, everybody, this is Scott Utspath again with Agent Mastermind. So excited to have you guys here. We got an awesome class planned for you guys, and it's a dear friend of mine, Alan Gross, just outside of Baltimore, is joined us. He's in the mortgage industry. Been in the business for 30 years, and his big secret to success has been relationship marketing, going deep with his clients and doing something special. And as you can see on the screen, it's not what we do or what we say, it's how we make them feel. And he's the expert at that. He always is sharing what he's sending and how he send it and the thought behind it. And he's got what he calls his favorite class. If you're anywhere near the Baltimore area, get a hold of Alan. He'd be more than happy to share this with you. No strings attached. He's just real passionate about it, and he knows it's done him well. So he understands the whole mindset of helping enough other people get what they want, and it comes back to you threefold. So Alan, I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
And look forward to hearing some what you got here for us, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We ready to start here?
Absolutely, man.
That's good. I have to say that I do this presentation a lot. I've done a lot of one-on-ones to this. In the last couple of weeks, I've done this with a title company. I've also done it at a real estate agent with their meetings. And I usually do it with people in front of me, and I have it more as a conversation. So talking for the whole time is going to be a little different for me.
There you go. I'll help you out, man.
The interaction is fun. But
right.
Yeah. I'm going to start out with my favorite quote. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. People will never forget how you made you feel, and that's Maya Angelou. It just talks about what it is. I mean, people are going to come to you because of how you make them feel. It doesn't matter what they know about your stuff. If you make them feel good, you're going to get business and referrals, and you're going to have relationships with people.
Right on.
Yeah. Now, when I put this presentation together a while back, I looked and I found Joe Girard, and I don't know if anybody on the call has heard of Joe Girard, but Joe Girard was a car salesman in the Detroit area of Michigan years ago, long before all the technology that we have today was in place, and he used old-fashioned cards, and he would send cards to everybody every month. In fact, sometimes 13,000 cards a month, and he would have help with that. But his business came from referrals. And why did they come to referrals? Because he kept in touch with people and let them know. And some of his cards, as I have heard Scotty say in the past, say, just that I like you. That was well the card said. But because of that, he got lots and lots of referrals, and he is the only car salesman to ever be inducted in the Automotive Hall of Fame.
Not only that, he still, to this day, holds the world's record for the most sales of any salesman.
Yep, I think he does. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Kennedy said, we must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. And this is important because if you're gonna when I talk to you, you're gonna see a theme. It's about thank yous and carings. And we just always want to find a way to say thank you, and we want to make a difference in other people's lives and appreciate them. Some of you may have seen this before. There are certain things you need to do to be successful in business, and mentally you can just grade yourself as we go through this. Some of the things we need to do are lead generation. Obviously, we need to get more leads. Database management. We've had lots of classes. We talked about ways of database management. A question when I'm doing this live with people, they say, what database do you use? And the fact of the matter is I use 4 or 5 different databases because I can't find one that does everything I want to do.
Right on.
Prospecting is important. You have to have presentation skills. Follow-up skills are important, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. Closing skills are important. In today's day and age, social media. What do you do on social media? Do you use Facebook as just a thing to contact your family, or are you contacting your clients and your friends and stuff and finding out about their needs and finding out about what's going on in their lives and sending notes in that way? And then mobile marketing. I think it's coming up in another week or so. Google is changing how they're going to rank people and show things on screens, and mobile marketing is going to be an important part of that. You want to be sure that all your mobile devices have been set up and are good for mobile marketing. Otherwise, your Google searches are not going to be found.
It's funny you bring mobile marketing up, Alan. Next week, as a matter of fact, we're doing a class on mobile marketing and the top 10 or 15 mobile apps that you could use in your business to make life easier, and also some apps that you might want to share or should share with your borrowers and sellers, just to keep that going. So I'll be curious to see that one.
Yep. Dale Carnegie many years ago said you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get people interested in you. And that, yeah, it's a very profound statement if you really sit there and think about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I'm sorry, Scotty, go ahead.
Huge, man. No, that's huge, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I did a lot of research when I put this presentation together, and if you look in the lower left-hand corner, there's a guy's name that I cannot pronounce. But he wrote a paper titled The Underappreciated Art of Saying Thank You. And he said in that particular article, by the time we are 2 or 3 years old, most of us have learned that people like it when we say thank you. Conscientious parents gently remind their children, and what do we say when someone does something nice for us? By kindergarten, we have learned the proper thank you, and somehow makes the day go more smoothly. And here's what's important, and yet in our nonstop, sometimes frantic lives, we easily forget the importance of gratitude, the value of that often brief but vital connection we make with strangers when we take a moment and smile and say thank you. And I'm not going to read the rest of it, but it's so important to say thank you to people. It just makes everybody's day.
It does. Yeah.
Now, I have a definition of relationship marketing. I say relationship marketing is communicating appreciation to your customers and prospects and showing them in a tangible way how much you care. And the key words in there are tangible. People have to know that you care. You sometimes assume they do, but you have to show them that you care. Everyone has that invisible sign on their head that says, make me feel important. And when you do that sincerely, and when you do that sincerely, your customers and prospects will love to do business with you and will enthusiastically refer their family, friends, coworkers, and business associates to you. In today's business climate, it's essential for success to show how different and unique you are and how much you care. And at this point in the conversation, you're only going to do it live with people. I start asking people, what do they do? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back and ask quickly just to think about this for a second. Think about relationship marketing, think about this, and then I want you to think about, out of your last 5 or 10 transactions you've done, where did they come from? When I ask this question when I'm live with people, I find that generally over 50% of these transactions come from referrals. And if they're coming from referrals, that means that people need to remember you, and it's important you do things to remember you. As a matter of fact, when I was talking to Scotty earlier, I was talking about a card I sent to a real estate agent who posted on their Facebook page this morning that they were number 4 in transactions in the Washington metro area. And in their comment on their Facebook page, all but 2 of my transactions last year came from referrals.
Wow.
I mean, that to me is just incredible. That tells me
that's incredible, yeah,
that they are doing something right.
Yep.
I know people probably have seen this quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. As a matter of fact, when I put this presentation together, I Googled the quote to find out who the author was because I didn't know. And it was John Maxwell. It's amazing what Google can do for you.
Yeah, yeah. How do we live without it, right?
I don't know how we did. Referrals come through who you are, not what you sell. These are really powerful thoughts. And here's where relationship marketing and touches become important. Are you making enough touches? I mean, when I talk to people, I hear a lot of people say, well, I called them and they never got back to me, or I sent them a card and I never heard from them again. Well, in the sales world, studies have shown that 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. Is that not unbelievable? It is to me.
It's yeah. So 1 out of 2 people. Yeah, I know. I think it's. I always, we talk about this a lot, and it's almost like our DNA is we enjoy the chase more than we do the basic common stuff of communication and follow-up. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Like when we do a marketing piece and the phone rings, man, oh my God, it worked, but we really don't care about answering the call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's really weird how we work like that, but it's the truth. So, and that's where going back to that report card. If you go, one of my weaknesses is follow-up. Maybe putting someone in place just to do the follow-up would double or even triple or quadruple your business just because somebody's following up on it. That's their job and that's their task to do every single day. Pretty cool.
I think that's correct. Like that is correct too. 25% of people make a second call and stop. 12% of people make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that important? Well, it's important because only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% are made on the fourth. So if you've contacted somebody 4 times, you basically have a 20% chance of making the sale. And if you go back and think about the transactions you've done, think about how many times you were in touch with those people before something happened. That means that 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So it's important to keep in touch. And contacts could be a number of things. We're going to talk about that a little later on.
I think there's a study, and I don't know the numbers on this, Alan, but I've heard it before, where when someone starts thinking about buying anything, or no matter what it is, house, car, TV, refrigerator, whatever, that as soon as the thought crosses their mind, I think it's a very high, like in the 90% time, like 90% chance that in the next 12 months they're going to buy that product.
Yeah. I think
so. It could be 12 months, but I mean, more than likely it's less. But like they said, in the next 12 months they will buy that product as soon as it crosses their mind that they want to buy that product.
Yeah. I can tell you right now that I'm working with somebody that I spoke with last August.
Okay.
And I talked to them last August about a mortgage and buying a house, and we had to get some stuff ready. And I kept in touch with them. And in the last week, I've written 3 approval letters for them. I haven't found a house yet, but if I hadn't kept in touch with them, I wouldn't be doing that right now.
Yep, no question.
Now, why do customers leave you? 1% die, 3% move and they don't tell you about it, 5% decide they want to buy from a friend, 9% get sold by a competitor, 14% are dissatisfied with your product or service, but amazingly, 68% of people leave you because of perceived indifference. They don't think you care, or you don't keep in touch, they don't know that you care.
Wow.
I just think it's just unbelievable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody, that little picture on the right-hand side, I'm always tweaking my presentation. Somebody posted that on Facebook about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I immediately pulled it out and put it right into my slide because it's a picture representation.
Yeah.
But people don't perceive that. I think, what is it the National Association of Realtors say? The statistic is something like 94% of people say that they will do business for the same realtor again. And yet it's like 6 or 8% actually do.
Yeah, 7%.
7%
actually do. Yep.
There's a reason for that.
Yep.
The cost of acquiring new clients can be 5 to 10 times higher than the cost of getting referrals or repeat business from your existing clients. Client appreciation is one of the smallest items in a real estate agent's expense budget. Make a client for life, not a sale. And I know, and I'm guilty of this as much as everybody is, with what comes out technology-wise, there's always new stuff coming out. Always little things that you can buy, always something that you can buy and try to implement. And yet there's some simple strategies that we put into place that work time and time again. You don't always have to go look for that new person. If you spend a little more time looking back at those people you've done business with in the past and referred to you, you're going to end up doing more business, and it's going to cost you less money.
Right on. I'm just writing down some questions here that we'll save for the end.
Okay. Relationships and referrals. For somebody to refer you, they must, and everybody knows this, they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. And as you and I were talking about the other day, Scotty, they have to remember you.
Yeah.
And if you're not in touch with them, they're not going to remember you. I mean, I know I talk to people all the time, and I asked this question. I said, can you tell me a time when someone bought or sold a house and they came and told you they bought or sold the house and you said to them, but I'm in real estate? And their answer was, oh, I forgot.
Exactly. Not a good answer. That's not a good answer.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the customer life cycle of marketing, there's and I'm not going to be real quick here. There's really 3 stages. There's the pre-stage. That's the awareness. People are doing research. They're doing comparisons. There's the during stage. That's when people are selecting an agent, buying a house, filling on the experience. There's the after stage, which is retention and loyalty and word of mouth referrals that you get. The whole part of relationship marketing is to relate to these people through the whole process and not forget them in the after stage. Now that you've made them happy, now that they're satisfied, now that they know you, don't let them forget you. Keep in touch. What do you need to have to increase your business? You need to have the right tools. I can tell you in my long time in the mortgage business, I've been to lots of seminars, lots of webinars, lots of things. Everybody's always selling something. I've bought lots of stuff. My shelves are full of stuff that just sit on my shelves anymore. But you have to have the right tools. You have to have the right systems. You have to have the right habits. But if you can have the tools, you can have the systems, you can have the habits, but if you don't consistently apply them, they don't do you any good. That tool that's on the shelf, gathering dust, does no good if you don't use it. It's sort of like the telephone. The telephone is one of the best ways to keep in touch. If you don't pick it up, it's not any good to you.
I think they say it's funny. They say that I think it's 85% of the time the first person to answer the call or return the call is going to get the deal. 85% of the time. I always knew that. I mean, that was always my one big thing is, answer the phone. Or if I'm not answering, somebody's answering the phone, because I know that 85% of the time those people want something and they want to get it off their chest and they want to apply or they want to have a question or whatever. And they're going to keep calling. If you're like me, I call until I get somebody, but that's very, very important. 85% of the time or higher, the first person to get the call is going to get the deal.
That's right, and you need to follow up with them after you've gotten the call.
Right on.
The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. William James said that. And when you're showing appreciation, and this is one of the things that a couple of years ago, it finally started to struck me. My light bulb was sometimes very slow in going off, I have to tell you. But I did business for a long time, and I sort of ignored the family part of it. I started putting things together, and I finally realized that you need to appreciate your family and friends first, because once you've got that going, everything else falls into place. So, in my little list of who you should show appreciation to on the business side, you want to show appreciation to your clients, obviously, your prospects, your colleagues. Your colleagues are important to your business. It makes things go smoother. Your referral partners, your employees and partners, if you have them, vendors, service professionals, lawyers, insurance agents, accountants, financial advisors, home inspectors. These are all people that can refer you business, and more importantly, not only can they refer you business, but if you need their assistance and you've shown appreciation to them, you're going to get it done quickly, and they're not going to have a lot of grief about it. On the personal side, you want to show appreciation to your family, your friends, your coworkers, service professionals, home and auto repair guys, doctors and dentists, hairdressers, teachers, store and restaurant people, daycare providers. I've heard Scotty talk about restaurants and stuff and showing appreciation to restaurants, tradesmen, and importantly, and shouldn't have it at the bottom of the list, but coaches who coach kids. They do something very special for kids, and they develop kids' lives. But not only do they do that, they know a lot of people. They can be a source of a lot of referrals.
No question. Yeah, that's a good one, man. I never even, you forget about, and they do, God, it's just amazing how many people they touch on a weekly basis.
Yes, it's just
14, 15 kids on a team, there's 14 families.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good one.
So showing appreciation is the lifeblood of relationships.
So what you're saying is if you can get your kid to play like 2 or 3 sports.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
And when your kids are doing sports, you don't have to go out and tell them what you do. If you go to all the sporting events all the time, they're going to know what you do, because you're going to sit at the sidelines and you're going to talk to the parents and you're going to have conversations. And the natural thing is to say, well, what do you do for a living? Don't tell them what you do. Just ask them what they do, because they're going to ask you.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a natural outgrowth. It's springtime. And springtime, everything starts to grow. My grass is growing like a weed right now. I guess I'm going to have to cut it now. But how do you grow your garden? Well, you water your garden. That's how you grow your garden. So what do you do in the business for growing your garden? Pick somebody from your contact manager and reconnect with them. And this, I know, can be a hard thing to do because you haven't been in touch for a while. But it's important to reconnect. When you have people your first meeting, plant that seed. When you meet with somebody new, start the relationship and keep it going. Be intentional about growing the relationship. And this is very important. Don't just ask for a referral. Deserve it. People are going to give you a referral because you deserve the referral, because of what you've done in the past and how you care about people.
Right on.
Clients and customers and prospects. And this is important. Do you have a system or systems to stay in touch with past clients, prospects, and customers? I can tell you earlier I said I have like 3 or 4, because I haven't found one that does everything I want. I know when I read the Agent Mastermind Facebook page all the time, everybody's asking about systems, and this system, what's the best system? I'm not sure there is a best system. First off, there's the best system that works for you. But secondly, I don't know if there's a system that does everything you want.
Right. I would agree.
Now, when you have a system that encourage people to refer people,
I know one for sure that works, Alan.
Yes.
The phone.
The phone always works, absolutely.
Phone always works, and nothing trumps the phone, like nothing. So whether it's you calling or like one of the ladies on the call on Fanny Horn, she says, "Hey, is there a way to remember to contact all my clients or contact all my clients?" One is you have to put it in your calendar, like that is what you're going to do. And if you, I would personally use Phone Burner. And if you go to phoneburnerfreedom.com, I'm not trying to sell anything, but it's a discounted. It allows you to record one message, because a lot of times if you're calling 100 people, you're going to get 60 to 70 voicemails, depending on the time of the day. It will say it's 50. Even if it's 40, you got to leave 40 voicemails. You're gonna like just burn out really quick. But if all you have to do is record one upbeat, exciting message, and then push a button when they answer when you get the voicemail, you're going to be more. It's truthfully addictive, and the cool part is you will get amazing results from it if you start calling your past database. And here's one thing I want to touch on that when Alan said you got to connect with your past database, they don't sit around and think about us as much as we think they do. They're not going to be upset with you that you haven't called in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or whatever it's been. They don't care about that. All they care about is that you reconnected with them and you'd had a little short conversation and see how they're doing and how their house is, and hopefully they haven't moved yet or aren't thinking about selling or buying and haven't done that already. So I just wanted to, phoneburnerfreedom.com is if you want to have a system that will help you call your people. Nothing trumps the phone call.
Absolutely. Now, when you have a system that encourages people to refer to you, you have to encourage referrals, and then does that system reward them for a referral? Now, a reward does not have to be something of monetary value all the time.
Right.
Michael J. Mayer, who we had on, I think, calls last year, talked about when you get a referral going too deep. So if you get a referral from somebody, call the person who referred that person to them and say thank you. Thank them for the referral. And then also call the person that referred that person to them and say thank you to them, because now you've got 2 phone calls you've made.
Right.
And you had a reason to make the call. Now that's when you get the referral. Why not?
Absolutely.
When the house gets listed or a contract gets on the house, or the buyer buys the house and has a contract, why not call those same 2 people in that referral chain and say, hey, by the way, I wanted to thank you again. So-and-so, the house was under contract, or so-and-so has a contract to buy a house. That's a second reason to call. And then why not, when the house goes to settlement, call them a 3rd time? Now you've contacted 2 people 3 times. People always talk to me and say, well, I don't know what to talk to them about. I don't know what to say. Well, here, if somebody gives you a referral, you can call them 3 times and say thank you.
Absolutely.
And I have to thank Michael Mayer about that. He has a 5-week class I took last spring. Ways to keep current customers and clients and acquire new ones. You need to provide a good service at a reasonable price. Put a system in place so they remember you and what you do. Show you appreciate your business, and serve others. And serving others can be lots of different things. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do in serving others. It can be groups that you belong to. It can be clubs you belong to. It can be marketing things. There's a lot of things you can do to serve others. It can be just helping out in your community. But you get known for what you do. Don't postpone your appreciation. And this is, I put my little round 2 on here because I can't hand it out. I hand these out if we're live. Don't postpone your appreciation. Don't wait till you can get around to it. Do it now. I think one of the biggest things we all tend to do is to procrastinate. You want to do something, and you think about, well, I'll do that later on. You don't do it. Well, so many things that we do that have to do with marketing and thank you, we need to do it right away. We need to show our appreciation, and that by the way, is a little round to it on the left-hand side that I had created by a company in Texas, and I hand them out. I was doing the presentation at a real estate office last week, and I started handing it out, and people loved them. They just thought they were fantastic.
Those are little wooden coins?
Little wooden round to it. Yep.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Implementing a relationship marketing strategy. And I've heard this talked about with Scotty in previous classes. Determine what it is you want to accomplish, personally and professionally. I mean, you've got to have something you want to do. Why do you want these outcomes? You've got to have a why. The why is probably the most important thing that gets you up in the morning. If you don't have a why, you're not going to get up and work. When do you plan to start the journey? You know, some people want to postpone it. Why not start it today? Who are the people in your life who are waiting to be appreciated? I would bet you if I sat here and was quiet for 2 or 3 minutes, you could all write down at least 5 or 10 people on a list, on a piece of paper, who you want to show appreciation to or be in touch with that you've sort of ignored. And how are you going to show your appreciation? There's lots of ways to show it. And we're going to talk about ways to say thank you. We've talked about phone calls. We talked about it quite a bit earlier. First and 10 calls is something that I picked up from Michael Mayer last year in the class. He says pick up the phone every day and make 10 calls first thing. It can be clients that you're working with. It can be clients that you want to work with. It can be past clients. It can have something to do with some of the transactions you're working on. But pick up the phone and engage people. Also, you know, I use Google Voice. That's how I use my number for phone. My phone number is a Google Voice number. If you don't use Google Voice, you can use Umail. But with these things, you can have a personalized greeting. So when someone calls your phone number, rather than get just a regular message, they get a message that has your name in it. I mean, my personalized greeting is very simple. I've done this many times. Hey, Scotty, it's Alan. Sorry I missed your call. Hope you have a great day. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Don't forget to leave a message. Bye.
And you know what they're thinking? They're like, how in the heck did he do that? But, man, did that feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's right. I mean, and I know Umail does a similar thing. It's not quite the same, but I call people, get the Umail greetings, and they say my name on those.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this popping up? We don't like that.
Something to do with you're probably running the yeah.
Yeah. Now, email is another way to keep in touch. And I use a system called Follow My Clients for birthday cards. That's what FMC stands for. And in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see what I'm sending out this year as my birthday greeting. It's just a little happy birthday with a couple little quotes, happy birthday. And what Follow My Clients does is it sends out the greeting on their birthday, and it sends me a notification that it's their birthday is that day. So it's a way to keep in touch. Everybody likes to
pick up the phone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Email and phone call, man, I'm telling you, you might be one of the only people calling.
Exactly. And then there's Happy Grasshopper is another system I use. Happy Grasshopper reminds you to send something fun every 3 weeks. They have different messages they provide. I prefer to come up with something that's fun, and I do a little video in mine, a little fun human interest video. And I will tell you what's important about Happy Grasshopper is it's not about that particular message is not about business. It's about something human interest or fun in their lives. And when I send that out, I get every month, every 3 weeks when I send that out, I get between a 20 and 25% open rate, and I think that's pretty good for an email.
Absolutely.
And people open that because they know it's not just a piece of advertising. Now, I will tell you there's a PS at the bottom, and the PS at the bottom always has something about what's going on in the real estate mortgage industry. So you can sort of tie them together, but it's another touch. Social media, you know, Facebook. We talked earlier about Facebook and friending people on Facebook. I friend all my clients on Facebook. It's a great thing. I know in past classes we've talked about Animoto. I have an Animoto video that lasts a little over a minute. The Animoto video is the same except for one slide, and I have a slide that I insert every time that says happy birthday with their name on it. So they watch the video. The second to the last slide is happy birthday with their name on it. The last slide is me wishing them a happy birthday. But it's another touch. I post that on Facebook pages.
Hey, here's a great question coming in from Fanny Horn. I appreciate the question, Fanny, and you being here. She says, how do you keep up with who you contacted and when?
Well, there's lots of ways to do that. I'm a big Excel spreadsheet person.
Okay.
I have a couple of Excel spreadsheets, and on the spreadsheets I have the people's names. I have their phone numbers. I have their email addresses. I have a column for date. I have a column next to that that says either spoke, message, or email, and then I have a slight column after that with a couple word quote about what I talked to them about or what I listened to them about.
Great idea. Yep. Okay.
I mean, there's lots of ways to do it. That's why another way is to put a group of people into your contact manager system that pop up every 2 or 3 months, wherever you want to contact them, and it pops up and reminds you need to do it. But I'm
So
a big
Lexi White, funny to see Lexi, that's my daughter's name. She said that she uses Top Producer, and she said it's the best program that she's found so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's lots of ways. There's lots of things that give you reminders. I will tell you that you know, as far as birthdays go, there's a couple of things that are good. Facebook's a great reminder for birthdays.
Amen, man. Amen.
I mean,
yep,
I don't know if people know this, but under the events tab in Facebook, every one of your friends who have their birthday in Facebook shows up. Yep. And you can go there and look and get birthdays for a month, birthdays for the day. That's how I do my videos every morning. I did one this morning. It takes me about a minute or two. But I go and look at the birthday tab in Facebook and see whose birthday it is, and I do videos. Some days I post 1, some days I post 0, some days I post 5.
Right.
Yeah. I have a friend that works
Debbie,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Debbie White, I'm sorry, I want to cut you off there. Hold that thought. Debbie White said the best CRM for tracking every touch with your clients is the Buffini & Company. Mm-hmm. So Debbie White said she used that.
It goes back to what we said earlier. If you find a system and use it.
Yeah, use it, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good systems out there. Find the one that you're comfortable with, that works for you, and use it. Don't just put it on the shelf.
That's funny. Cindy brought up send out cards, so I know you're going to cover that in here.
We're going to cover that. So, we're going to cover that.
He does cover send out cards, Cindy.
Also, you know, drop-ins, pop-bys, whatever you want to call them, with or without a small gift. I've talked to a number of agents in the Maryland area that do drop-ins or pop-bys. And they do different kinds of gifts, and I'm going to talk about that in a few slides down and give you some ideas on that. Handwritten notes. Handwritten notes are a great way. I know a lot of people talk about handwritten notes. I don't do handwritten notes personally because I'm handwriting challenged, which means that if I write a note, nobody can read it. Years ago, I belonged to Buy Referral Only with Joe Stump, and I'm sitting at my office at my desk, and I'm looking at stacks of notes that he sent me that I never sent out because I didn't get around to it and I didn't write well. Greeting cards are another way to say thank you, and there's lots of ways to do greeting cards. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Giving small gifts, you know, stopping by houses and giving small gifts is another way. And I don't know if it's been talked about much, but the lottery ticket strategy is a great way to. I love the lottery.
Yeah, I love that one.
It's a great way to reconnect with people. I mean, if you haven't talked to somebody for a while and you're sort of worried about giving them a call, then go to the local lottery guy and buy 5 or 10 $1 lottery tickets a week, and then sit down and write a little note to 5 or 10 people. You don't want to do too many of these because you got to follow up. So you want to do just 5 or 10 a week. You just write a little note to them, send them the lottery ticket, and then about a week later, call them up and say, "Did you win?" "What do you mean, did you? Oh, the lottery. Oh, yeah." Well, now you've opened the door for a conversation. So if you have some hesitancy about somebody you haven't talked to for a long time, spend $1, send them a lottery ticket. Any comments on that, Scotty?
No, man. I was just they would love to see your video for the Anamoto one. If you could post that on the group page later on today.
The birthday video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Cool. Somebody said slide dial and slide broadcast are awesome. I would 100% agree with those. I use both of those actually, so those are great. Slide dial is where it goes directly to their voicemail on their cell phone, and slide broadcast does the exact same thing, but you can do slide broadcast goes to a larger group of like 100 or 200 or however many you want. So great. Thanks for sharing that, Jay. Forgot all about those.
I am always looking on Facebook, and a while back I found this post by somebody, and basically it says, sharing this here, one of my a few brilliant 4 a.m. moments a few months back was to reach out to past clients to celebrate their first year anniversary in their home. It's a gabled style box that I got from Hobby Lobby. Oh, here comes this thing again. Sorry about that. I rebooted my computer today right before this class to be sure I was clean, and of course now all the stuff that pops up again. It's a gable style box I got from Hobby Lobby. Okay, this is on clearance for $1.67 for 5. I filled it up with chocolates and my 3 0.16 4x6 note card with a handwritten note. This week I drove to my clients' houses, delivered 11 boxes, all but 2 wasn't home. But those I did stop by, I actually got to talk to them. It was really a gesture they did not expect. Showing up with a 1 box really made them smile. Even some laughed. We got to talk about their home, what's going on. Every single one, they gave me a big hug. One, I even found out that the builder needs to replace their wood flooring because it was buckling, something I wouldn't have known. Anyway, what she's done is she's taken a pop-by very inexpensively, and she's reconnecting with clients. And if you don't think that's going to get you repeat business and referrals, I don't know what you think it's going to do.
Right.
But this was posted on Facebook. This wasn't something I did. I just happened to find it. I talked about pop-bys. This is a great site. I was meeting with an agent in Westminster, Maryland, a couple of months ago, and she actually brought a pop-by gift to me. It was a little red mailbox filled with candy and had some stuff on there. Yeah, I thought it was great. But in the course of the conversation, she says, here's where I get my ideas. I get my ideas from pop-by gift ideas, and this is Peggy Uriff, who's out in California. And if you go to popbyideas.com, you can get lots of pop-by gift ideas, and they're all inexpensive. She talks about what the gift is. She talks about where to get it. She talks about what you can say with it, a card or note or something. But it's a great, great source. And I think
there's no affiliation. We have no affiliation
with this whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah. None at all. But I'm always looking for ways to help people, and I thought this was a great site. And it was referred to me by another agent.
Cool.
And I believe if you need this, if you don't get this, the PowerPoint will be posted.
Absolutely. Yep.
So you'll be able to pick it up later.
Professional. Hey, down in the chat, there's a chat thing down there. I posted the website. And then one other question, Alan, is they wanted to know where the wood coins came from, the vendor for that.
They came from a company in Texas. I'll tell you what. I will post that
on the
page.
Okay,
on the page,
cool.
yeah.
Perfect.
I posted on the page.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, good idea.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what. When I was putting this presentation together, I was looking for different things. I never realized that American Express had a forum, but Raymond Ray in the forum a column titled "How Thank You Cards Can Build Loyal Customers," and he pointed out 6 reasons thank you cards are important. Writing a thank you card breaks you through the digital clutter of our lives. And if you think about that, we got so digital. We're about tweets and emails and messages and stuff. That's communication, but it's not real communication. Mm-hmm. Thank you cards show you care. We've talked earlier about how much it's important to show that you care. Building relationships of trust and like are important in business, and they are. Don't be forgotten. We've talked very much about the importance of people remembering you. Thank you cards are great marketing tools, and that is true. And sending a thank you card disciplines you not to use the computer so much.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Little thought there.
Yeah, I know.
I sit at home at my office desk and I'm on the computer all the time. I just try to remember to do other things while I'm doing that.
Yolanda brought up that the dollar store is a great place for the pop-by too as well. I used to do that as well. It's a great idea. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yes. And Irving Misner, I think it's Misner, I'm not sure, but he's the guy who started the BNI groups. And everybody, I'm sure, is familiar with BNI. And a while back, he wrote a blog titled "Send a Thank You Card." And he wrote, "A simple thank you card may not sound like going the extra mile. To many people, however, it truly is. The old-fashioned, personalized, handwritten thank you cards has largely been replaced by email. When was the last time you received a traditional handwritten thank you card? What was your reaction? If you're typical, you were pleasantly surprised and you appreciated the sender's time and effort. How many times do you smile when you get an email?"
Yeah, right.
Anyway, he went on to say, okay, you just won't do a handwritten card no matter what I say, then take a look at send-out cards. They allow you to send a card that looks handwritten but can be done on your computer and sent through the mail. This is a great service for the handwriting impaired, like me. I highly recommend the service. And we're going to talk a few minutes about cards as part of the business in a couple minutes. Ralph Marsden, he does a thing online. If you look for Daily Motivator, you'll find him online. He said, make it a habit to tell people thank you, to express your appreciation sincerely and without the expectation of anything in return. Truly appreciate those around you, and you'll soon find many others around you. Truly appreciate life, and you'll find you have a lot more of it. I've read this quote a long time. If you think about this, it really starts to hit home. It just really is true. I was so glad I found this and included it. Now, according to the Direct Marketing Association, 97% of greeting cards that come through the mail get opened. I'm not sure what happens to the other 3%, but it's probably one of the most effective forms of marketing that you can do. I like to say that snail mail is so old that it's new.
Yeah, yeah.
So many people now communicate through text and messages and stuff that they don't get anything in the mail anymore. So when they get something in the mail, it has a whole lot more meaning. So you want to let your clients know how important they are to you with an effective relationship marketing campaign. And we've talked about different items. Now we're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about cards. I'm going to say, you know, a handwritten card probably it makes a lot of sense. It's probably one of the best things that you can send. I just know with me, sending a handwritten card, I just didn't get around to it all the time. It was inconvenient. It took some time. It was costly. It was easy to forget. And frankly, when I sent cards, people couldn't read them. There is a solution that makes card sending fast, fun, and convenient, and it's about the third of the cost to going to the card store and finding a card. I mean, you know, and we talked about a little, it's send-out cards, and I'm going to talk a little bit about send-out cards. I know we have a lot of people on the call that use send-out cards, and I will tell you, with send-out cards, I know more people in the real estate business who use send-out cards than any other industry that I know. And what is send-out cards? Send-out cards is a customer relationships management service, and it's changing a lot of lives in positive ways. I mean, everyone here, I'm sure, goes to the store and buys paper greeting cards. They probably don't do as much as they should or they would like to. Everyone believes in expressing thanks, appreciation, and acknowledging special occasions or accomplishments. You want to increase your database. You want to increase client retention. You want to get referrals. You want to build your personal business relationships. And to do this, you need a system that saves you time, stress, and money, and it saves a lot of energy. I know for me personally, one of the reasons I didn't send a lot of cards was I didn't get to the card store, I didn't come home and write it, I didn't get to the postage stamp, and I didn't take it to the post office. As a matter of fact, there was cards I didn't send because I got them and I did all that stuff, and then I ran around with my card for 3 weeks and I forgot to give them to the post office. I don't know if everybody else has that experience, but I was guilty of that. So now if you need to send a card, you can simply log on to the Send Out Card site. One of the things I like about Send Out Cards is that they have 15,000 stock cards in 50 different categories that you can use. What I really like about Send Out Cards is you can create your own custom cards. You can use your own pictures, your own images. You can create card covers. You can upload photos. There's just so much that you can do with it. I hardly ever send a regular stock card because I create cards. And what I've done is I've templated a lot of them, and I just use the template over and over. But you can also use, and one of the things that I get comments from people about sending cards and different card systems, and Send Out Cards isn't the only one out there, but it's the one that I like and I use. But one of the things I get comments about is, well, it's sort of impersonal. I don't agree with that. For one thing, you can get your signature put in a Send Out Card, so it's your signature. If you really have nice handwriting, which I don't, you can also have your handwriting put in and a font. So when you type the card, it's your handwriting. The nice thing about Send Out Cards is it prints, addresses, stuffs, seals, and stamps the card, and they have lots of gifts online that you can choose. I will tell you that I'm a big brownie sender. People love the brownies. I did a real estate agent meeting last week down in D.C., and I sent them all a card, thanks for coming, and I sent them all brownies. And they take it to the post office. You never have to touch anything. There's no inventory. There's no cards. There's no nothing. You just do it. You can send a card anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All for just pushing the button. One of the other nice things, and again, the light bulb took a while for me to go off. Send Out Cards, I said, is a customer relationship management system. One of the most important things in people's lives is their birthdays. When you put the birthday into Send Out Cards, it sends you an email 3 weeks before the birthday reminding you the birthday is coming up. There's a calendar in the system. You just have to look at it every day, and you'll know whose birthdays are coming up. I used to do the cards once a week. I would go through and see whose birthday was that coming week. I've changed that. Back in November, I started sitting down one weekend a month. I sat down for an hour or two, and I did all my cards for the following month. So a week and a half ago, all my cards for May were done. So I don't have to worry about birthday cards for May. They're done. By the way, I also send anniversary cards. If you can find somebody's anniversary, you can do a custom card for that as well. And again, you can send gifts or whatever you want to do. There's just lots of ways to do it. There's devices to do it on your cell phone or your PDA device or something. My friend Jay McHugh, who may be on the call today, I know he signed up. He's a real estate agent, a broker owner up in the Boston, Massachusetts area, and I saw him post this a while back on Facebook. Jay, I'm happy to say our agent count in production was up 42%. Thanks to send-out cards and staying after me. I didn't see the send-out cards light at first, but now I'm a walking testimony to your success. What an incredible return on my investment. Thanks for introducing me to the gift and that keeps on returning high dividends. I wasn't sure at first, but I'm a believer now. And this is a real estate agent to another real estate agent, and Jay is a real estate agent in the Boston area. He'd be happy to help you if you get in touch with him, and I hope he's on the call. Hey, Jay. Also, another thing you can do with send-out cards, it's fun. Back in May of 2013, about 2 years ago, one of my clients who I'm friended with on Facebook posted on her Facebook page, nurses, teachers, administrative assistants are all amazing people who help society every day. But just for once, I would love to have a technical sales rep appreciation day. Well, she did, because I made her a card. You can see the card says Technical Sales Rep Appreciation Day, and I put a little picture on her.
I love it.
And what happened with that card? She posted the card on Facebook, and then look at all the comments it got. That was nice exposure, all because I took the time to send a card.
There's no minimum. I mean, you can send one, right? You don't. I mean, I've just sent one. Yeah, you can send one. You can send 100. There's no minimum. So
no, there's no minimum, and it's not. Yeah. It's a pay-as-you-go system. You only pay for the cards that you send.
Hey, Alan, I got a question from Bob Hunter. He said his question is, I know you can't do it with send-out cards, but when you send a handwritten note that you do or somebody else does for you, do you include a business card with yours?
Well, I don't do handwritten cards. I have heard both from people I've talked to. And I'll tell you my personal thought on that. My personal thought on that is it somebody who doesn't know you and you've sort of met them, you might want to send a card. If you're sending a card for a congratulations or some sort of a social type card or you know some sort of greeting type of a thing, I wouldn't send a business card.
Okay.
Now I will tell you with the send out cards, the second page of the card on a lot of my cards is my contact information. So I do send it that way. Now, if it's a personal card, it's not. But if it's a business card, it is.
Then do it. Okay, got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Now, people are busy with the deluge of emails people receive every day. I mean, I've talked to agents and stuff and say they get to 200 or 300 emails a day. And I don't know about the rest of you, but when I'm sitting at a red light, I'm on my cell phone, and I'm going through my emails, and I'm deleting. I'm getting rid of them. So emails don't always get opened. And again, as I said earlier, plus when's the last time you heard somebody get excited about opening an email? It's not the same as going to the mailbox and picking up a card. When you send a special thank you card to your clients or prospects, it shows that you really care and that you took the time to say thank you. And that's important. It goes back to what we've talked about this whole time. People want to know that you care. Now, Scotty asked me to do a couple of cards in the presentation. This is my friend Jay McHugh. You can see his little picture in the left-hand corner. This is a card that Jay uses when he has a high-end listing. And this card happens to be 8 by 2 by 11 inches high. It's got some pictures on it, got some information about Jay. And what he does is he sends this out to some of his referral sources and also to people in the neighborhood. And he doesn't always expect to sell the house from the card. But it keeps him in touch, and it lets him know the kind of marketing he does. Now, I took Jay's idea, and I made it into a templated card. If anybody wants a template, I'll be happy to share it with you. What this is 3 PowerPoints put together and uploaded as image files into send-out cards and put. But you've got a card that has a picture of the front of the house. You've got a card that's got 4 pictures of the house with the address. You've got another card with pictures. And since this is a sample card, the information on the card in the lower left-hand corner is mine. I just put mine in there. But this is a card you can put together very quickly if you have a nice listing to send out to neighbors, send out to prospects, send out even to previous clients to let them know you have a listing on the market. And I think when you said that, if you sold this card in person live, you would really be impressed with it.
Yeah, right. Right on.
This also is an 8 by 2 by 11 inch card. Now, you asked earlier contact information. You can see on this particular card, my contact information is on the second page of the card. When someone buys a new home, after they've gone to settlement, I get a picture of the card. The front of the card is congratulations on your new home with a picture of their house. I've got their address on there. And then the card just is, just a little message. Home is where love resides, memories are made, friends are always welcome, and family is forever. And then a little congratulations note. And in the lower part of the corner, you can see my signature. That gets put in by send-out cards. I just have it on file, and it just gets inserted into the card. But this is a card that you can send out after somebody is settled. It's a nice card. It's 8 by 2 by 11. I think it's going to get kept, and it's going to be shown to other people. This is another type of card that I use a lot. As I say, I'm big into doing something with a little bit of custom, and you can see my contact information as well as on this card. I have a PowerPoint that I have, and it just says, thank you for talking to me about your upcoming purchase of a home. And the PowerPoint, I just go on the top and I change the name at the top and I save it as an image file. I upload it and put it at the cover of the card. The second part of the card is always the same. I don't even have to put the name in there. That first name thing, it just inserts their first name automatically. So this is a card I send after somebody's talked to me about a loan. I don't wait till they've done something with me. I don't wait till they've made an application. When they call me on the phone and they talk with me, I send them a card right away. Because now what I've got is I've already got 2 contacts. I've talked to them on the phone. I've sent them a card. I also put them on the email list for Happy Grasshopper, and that's 3 contacts you start with. But it's a type of card that you can use. On a personal basis, this is a birthday card that I used. Again, I send cards to a lot of people. I'm probably sending between 30 and 50 birthday cards a month now. I haven't been doing this for long. A year of doing this comes up in May. Last May, the light bulb for me went off. I started seeing a lot of, and I don't have a copy of the cards I use for weddings and for babies, but the light bulb went off. Toward the end of the month, I saw a lot of people posting on Facebook about about weddings and babies being born. So I designed a card. It's also 8 by 2 by 11 that I send out to them with pictures of the wedding or pictures of the babies, and I send it out to them when I see it on Facebook. But then it got to me thinking, you can do a birthday card too. So I designed a birthday card. The only thing I do is I use this little cake that has her name on it, and you can get that. I think you talked about Red Kid, didn't you, Scotty?
I did, redkid.net. Yeah, it's an awesome, you can get the birthday cake, absolutely.
That's the cake you talked about. I just insert a birthday cake. And so I just insert the birthday cake in there. So now I've got a card I'm sending to them that's a personalized birthday card. All I have to do is insert the cake and send the card. But it's a personal way to touch it. If you want to do something a little bit different and you find out their anniversary, I do an anniversary card as well. This happens to be for Ben and Sarah's anniversary. They're clients of mine. They got married after they bought the house, but I knew what their anniversary was, so I have this card I send out to them. It's easy to do, takes a minute, but if you don't think this doesn't leave an impression, and they appreciate that you remembered it, it's just unbelievable. And that really is what I have as far as cards. I have a lot of other cards to show, but I didn't want to make this too long. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Did I get it within an hour?
12:53. We're good, man. Yep.
We're good.
Yeah,
okay.
no, this is perfect, man. This is perfect. Couple questions I want to address, and we'll be good.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So the last you just said you did that through send out cards. So yeah, if you haven't checked out send out cards,
yeah,
go to createcustomcards.com. Give that link. That's your link there, so that'll help you out there.
Info.
Yeah, createcustomcards.info is Alan's deal, so you can check it out. I would love the template. I don't know if you want to share that template of that card that you have.
I can, yeah.
8 by, what was it? 8 by 2 by 11.
8 by 2 by 11 inches. It's called the big card. Yeah.
It's called the big. Oh shoot, that's okay. All right.
So we need to do the template. We need to post the video, so we'll do those. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The template will be posted on the farming page. Yeah. Somebody mentioned great. I don't even know how to say it. GRATZIE card. Grazie card. Grazie card. They said. Yeah. I guess Rachel's saying that they're both good. One's more economical, so whatever. Redkid.net is where you can do the cake from last week's class. Do you send the same template every? Do you send the same template every year?
For birthdays? No.
Or do you have changed the template?
No, I
I
change
think
it
for
every year.
birthdays. Change it up? Okay.
I change every November 1st. I change the
Okay.
birthday card and I change the anniversary card. I design
Okay.
them, and in October I sit down and redesign things and I change them. So no, I don't send the same.
Cool.
Now, if I have two people in a household that have birthdays, they both get the same card that year, but it's
Okay.
customized with their name on it.
Okay, so you're going to post the vendor card for the wood coins.
Yeah.
Phone burner freedom, let's see. And then one lady asked, this is a great question I just want to address because I have a couple solutions for you. She says, I've been in real estate for 10 years and just recently moved from northern California to southern California. What's the best way to get started over building a database? And this could probably be a whole class, but I'm just going to throw some ideas at you. Farming would be first. Flower pot strategy, marketing to expireds and FSBOs would be a good one. Open houses using other people's listings with their permission. Marketing other people's listings with their permission using the single property website of any kind. Marketing to expireds, marketing to FSBOs, that would definitely get you going. I had one gentleman brand new in the business that started marketing other people's listings just in different ways and was able to gather over 80 listings for himself. And then he had, of course, buyer leads coming in because he was marketing it different than the agent. And as long as you give credit to where credit is due, like an IDX works, most agents won't care as long as you're in the profile you put where the listing is or whose it is. So just get permission from the listing. But that'd be a couple of suggestions for that. So you're going to post the vendor. Mother's Day's coming up, absolutely. So that'd be a great way to show people mothers that you care. Alan, do you have anything special for Mother's Day coming up?
I
Try to
don't.
put you on the spot. Okay.
No, I don't.
Right.
Mother's Day is not one of the things I've done because I've honestly, for me it's a touchy holiday. You don't know who are and who is and who isn't.
Sure,
I don't do it as a general thing, but I do some specific things, but not as a general because I'm careful about that particular. By the way, just quickly, that createcustomdartcards.info, that particular website has a couple of videos on it from real estate agents. One is my friend Jay McHugh talks about it. There's another video on another agent who uses send-out cards for expireds and FSBOs, and there's a short video by him on that, and there's a little bit of information on send-out cards on there. So if you just want information on how real estate agents use send-out cards, you can go to the site and just watch the videos. They're very short. And my phone number is on there. I know Scotty says, people's privacy, they got things. I'm happy to talk to you if you have specific questions and want to do it. I know that I'll get a lot of calls at first, and then it'll sort of die out, and I'm happy to talk to anybody who wants to talk to me.
Cool. Alan, I sincerely appreciate you being here. And a lot of people are asking about RedKit, where you got that cake. So I'm just going to take the screen from you really quick and show them.
Okay. Absolutely.
I'm just going to grab it really quick. So if anybody wants to know how to use this again, I'm just going to go to redkit.net. You should be able to see my screen right about now. Everybody, Alan, you see my screen okay?
I see your screen just great.
So it's redkid, redkid.net, and then if you click on image generators right here, so image generators, and then generate an image, and then the top left is the one where the cake is. So sign generators, and then you'll see the cake over on the right-hand side. So you just put in whatever, happy birthday to Alan Gross, however you want to put that in there, and then it puts it on the cake, and then you just right-click and save that photo. Pretty cool. All right, guys. Alan, thank you sincerely for all your info. Great class. A lot of kudos coming in. This is redkid.net. It's free to use. Don't sign up for anything here. Just go there and do what I just click a couple buttons there. It is being recorded. So contact a loan professional that sent you here to get a copy of this PowerPoint. And Alan's going to be so generous just to post a couple things on the group page, and I appreciate that sincerely. And thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you putting this together for us.
Well, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it. Everybody have a great day.
Thanks so much. Yeah, you too. Take care, everybody. Next week we're going to show 10 to 15 of the top apps that you should be using on your mobile devices, your iPads and iPhones and Droids and all that fun stuff. So look forward to seeing you on next week's class. Everybody be safe. Have a great weekend. And, hey, do me a favor. Pick up those calls, pick up the phone, and make those phone calls. It's amazing what happens when you reconnect with your past databases. Alan has already showed. So thanks so much again, buddy. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.